One of the biggest challenges mid-level managers face is project management. As you grow in your career, you quickly move from being task-oriented to being project-oriented, with more and more emphasis on strategic solutions. Usually, earlier in your career, you were given a list of tasks, or the list was the same each day. Your job was to complete the tasks in an efficient manner. You were very successful with this and got promoted. Now your job consists of making sure those same tasks are completed in a timely manner, but you're not alone in completing them. You need the team that now reports to you to accomplish those tasks, and you will likely jump in to help. In addition to those tasks, you are now involved with more projects where you need to create and execute the checklists. And these projects may span months or even years. Some examples of some projects you may face: creating from scratch or modifying a budget, maybe for your team, maybe for multiple teams, maybe for the entire operation. Opening an aquatic center for the season or any other seasonal sports. Overseeing a renovation project within your scope of work. Maybe it's changing a point of sale system. Maybe now you're responsible for overseeing the success of large club events. Think New Year's Eve, member guest, etc. You may also be at a club that opens or closes for a certain season, and you may be in charge of getting the club open or shutting it down for the season. Think about some projects you've been asked to manage or have worked on with others. What worked well? What didn't? Jot that down, take notes, and bring them to the live session, and we can discuss them further. Here are some best practices for project management. You have to understand if there's any risk involved. Are you closing a certain dining room to change the carpet? Do you need to lock the doors so nobody wanders in during construction? What about if you're in charge of a large event that may have a weather element? The event's outside. You may have weather come up. Big piece of project management is understanding the risk and having a plan for it. Keep the big picture and the ultimate deadline always in the forefront of your mind. Time moves quickly. The deadline will be here before you know it. Probably the easiest and best way to work on a project is breaking it into smaller tasks. Enjoy the video about how to eat an elephant. Create a schedule. Work backwards from the completion date with large and small tasks listed. Follow along on the progress. You want to make sure you're not falling behind in any one area, as it'll probably affect other areas. If you're ahead of the schedule, great. Are you falling behind? Why are you falling behind? What's causing this? Make adjustments as needed. You have to manage the entire project. A huge piece of project management is communication. You're now at a position within the organization where you have to communicate with multiple levels of people. You have your team looking to you. You have to make sure you're on the same page with them. You have colleagues that are equal to you, that your project may affect them. You have people you report to. They're going to want to know some updates on the progress of the project. You may also be in a position to discuss the details of the project and communicate the project to stakeholders, shareholders, members, guests. Is everybody aware of the deadline? Is everybody aware of the work that's needed to complete the project? You cannot over-communicate during a project. Communicate the progress of it, monitor the progress of the project, and communicate it. Let people know if you're behind, ahead, or on time. Another piece of successful project management is keeping your team motivated. As we learned through the personality assessments with predictive index, change is very difficult for some people. Frustration will be increased. Anxiety can be very high during projects. Constant reminders of where we are in the project and the importance of the project always are helpful. Overall, you're now moving into a more strategic phase of your career. You will still be responsible for the individual tasks that make up the project, but now you're going to be increasingly responsible for the overall success of the project. As we've mentioned through this entire course, time management skills are very important. They will be pushed to their limits. They will be stressed as your workload increases. And as we've already learned, there's no more hours in the day.